When building with Bubble, it can be quite common to build a one-page app, and one-page apps can have a number of advantages, including they perform better as responsive web apps because there's no like visible page refresh or load, and they tend to be, once the page is loaded, they tend to be a little bit quicker because you're not having to move from one page to another. So this is how I would go about setting up a navigation and allowing a user to move from one screen to another in a one-page app. So I've got the basics of a page here, which if I expand the elements tree, you can see that I've just got some groups and a bit of text to allow me to nicely position and margin my elements. And we're going to create a number of different screens that will then set up workflows and use custom states to switch user between. So let's copy and paste this, make sure that this is set as a column. There we go. Let's go with 3. So we'll have dashboard, we'll have my account, and we can have let's have billing. Okay, and then for each of these, I'm going to set them to not display on page load and to collapse when hidden, and that is going to allow me to get the one page effect. Okay. And now let's think about how we're going to navigate between these. And I really like using option sets to set up a navigation and also to move data around the app. I find that option sets can be more reliable than just using text as a custom state, because if you're using text to define whether an element's going to be shown or hidden, then you have to have typed in that text perfectly each time, and you know, a single letter out, and it's not going to work. Whereas an option set, it's just really nice using option sets. Let me show you why. So I'm going to add in a repeating group at the top here. There we go. And it's going to be one row, and it can have more than one column. So let's go into data and let's create an option set, and I'll call it menu. And so our menu is going to have dashboard, my account, and billing. Okay, and so now I can get this to display my menu and then all menu, and I can add in a text element. And set that to display my menu's label, its display. Okay, let's have a look at that on the front end. Okay, so all of my different pages are hidden by default, and I have this menu showing my option sets up there. So let's now create a custom state, and we might as well use the custom states. Of course, can be created anywhere on your page, so it tends to work well for me to just think of somewhere logical to put it, so that you're not trying to hunt it down at a later date. So I'm just going to use the page and say current page is my state, and then menu, create. And let's have the default as dashboard, so that the dashboard loads in into this custom state when the page loads. Next, we need to add the conditional statement that is going to display these different elements. So it's going to be when one pager, because that's the name of the page, its current page is dashboard. We want it to display, and I'm just going to copy and paste this condition and change the ending of the statement to fit. Brilliant. And then lastly, let's set up our menu to toggle through them. So when someone clicks on the text label, I want to change the custom state of the page to, and then we're not doing it manually, we're doing this dynamically, so we can choose current sales menu. Let's have a check. So the dashboard loads in automatically. Why is that? Because we've set the default custom state to be dashboard. And the reason I've done that, you could have the dashboard to load in on page load here, but then just to me it's not as neat because you're making it an exception amongst each of these elements. And then if you were at a later date to want to kind of reshuffle your page, maybe relabel items, then I just like the consistency. So that's why I've used the default custom state there. And so then if I click on here, it swaps between them. So that's how to use custom states to store a value that displays particular elements on the page, making an app appear like it's a one-pager. In another video, I'm going to demonstrate where this falls short. In fact, I'll demonstrate that now to lead into another video, because let's say I want to store the screen the user is looking at. So the user is looking at my account, and then I want to make sure that when they come back to this page, it's still my account, but it's not, because on page load, the default one is dashboard. So in fact, right now I'm going to be recording a video showing how to store this data in the user rather than using custom states, so that the page loads in the previous view.